Kubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Menteri Rangba Kajala Conrad ke sangma habak range kilat pathai khubor mentakasni hadian baladap bansong yang jingyalang barki he Pulit Kajala kabalalong ha police headquarter Shillong hagabaya de barki kattu katni ki Jingdheng kam jogatanat Pulit barki sin jam ki bala banshim ban kentiu ya kabhagam yat jong ki Pulit. Menteri Rangba ula Pynbna bantau dekat Police Infrastructure Renovation Fund nak bantau ban Pynbna ban pendan syu ya ki Jingdheng kam jong ki Pulit bantau ban pendan ki office nak bantau ki SP hagi district baper ki bampat dan. Menteri Rangba ula Pynbna ru ban ai da ki kali bat ki komputer shabaro ki nyo pun riu Tylli ki police station nak bantau ban yo pendan kam hagi bantau ki babun. Shu la Pynbna bandan daki cranes bat ki ambulance ha ki jaka bajur ke Jingdheng kali bat kumju ha ki jaka babun ki jingja accident ha ki district khnang baki Pulit ke jela kinna ban ai ke jingshakri ka bakham janai la Pynbna ban ai ru riu phau Tylli ki thuk na ka banta ban pet bat Khmih ke jingkhap nya jong Jingdheng kali ha po East Khasi Hills.
Today we had two very important conferences. And if I were to assess, then these two conferences we have today could be assessed as one of the more important conferences for the state and for our people. The first conference was with all the deputy commissioners of all the districts, and many schemes and many programs, many issues were discussed with the deputy commissioners, and more importantly, how we could ensure that the delivery mechanism improves in terms of the processes, in terms of change in rules or policies, or the utilization of technology to improve the overall delivery mechanism at the grassroots level. So these many aspects were discussed in the DC conference. More specifically, we discussed about the disaster management issues, especially keeping in mind the flood situation which we faced a few weeks back, and the kind of disasters that took place because of that, the loss of lives, the damage to agriculture, the damage to infrastructure, and all these aspects were discussed, and more importantly, on how we prepare ourselves for future situations, take precautions, prioritize what is most important, and as I said, improve the overall infrastructure technology to be able to face these kind of situations in the future. We have also decided that today, in fact, in the DC's conference, we had started several online services we had launched today. Some of them are as follows. We have started the CM's welfare scheme, so the direct benefit transfer for PWDs. This has been made online, and so most of the PWDs and the beneficiaries will be able to get updates and information about their amounts that are supposed to be transferred to them online, on an online basis. We also have started the submission of annual property returns by the NCS and the NPS officers that has been launched today in the DC's conference. We also had started the citizens service for ration card. This also has been put online. We have also started the online bookings for tickets on MTC. So this also has started today. We have also started the National Generic Document Registration System. Also has been launched. These are the 5 online services that we launched today. As you are aware, the effort of the government has been to make as many of these services online as possible, and it's part of our e-governance endeavor to make services to the public easily accessible. So in that, with that objective and mission, these 5 new services, or these 5 services are started, have been launched online today. So it was discussed in the DC's conference was regarding the overall infrastructure improvement in multiple sectors. As you are aware, this government has been focusing on a very clear-cut strategy and policy, which is to improve the overall infrastructure, especially when it comes to the public service areas. So whether it is hospitals, whether it's schools, whether it is blocks, or whether it's police stations, we have made a concerted effort to ensure that infrastructure improved in all these areas, which has been neglected for a very, very long time. You're aware that all the blocks in the state, new buildings are coming up, and in a lot of them, the tender process is going on, and overall approximately about 120 crores plus has been sanctioned, and works for new block buildings are going to start by August, September in all the blocks of the state. Similarly, we had started in the first phase the improvement of schools by including new buildings and extension buildings in different schools. We have gone a step further, and we have decided now that 1,800 of the schools, this is government LP schools, which were not repaired or which are in quite bad shape. The government has decided now that these repairs will take place of these 1,800 government LP schools through the district level, and a decentralized approach will be done where the DRDA along with the DLC out there and the different education officers will work together to ensure that in a decentralized manner these repair works of roughly about 3 to 4 lakhs per school, which will include renovation, which will also include, depending on conditions, electricity and water supply, and also include furniture in these 1,800 LP schools. Roughly a budget of anything between 3 to 4 lakhs will be given to each school. Another important decision which was taken in the DC's conference was a similar model will be adopted for the PHCs also, PHCs, CHCs and sub-centers also. So for this also earlier, these kind of repair works had to go through the departmental process, and the health engineering wing, planning department. All these were a lot of hurdles that led to a lot of delay in the implementation of the different renovation works. We have decided to decentralize those repair works, and now the entire fund will be, for these repairs, will be given directly to DRDA. We've also decided that we will be creating what we call the Police Infrastructure Renovation Fund. This is again similar to the concept of the schools and the health infrastructure, but this is for police specifically. And as you are aware, police stations require infrastructure improvement, renovation at quite small levels. But in order to do all of that, those repairs, the process was very lengthy. The department would have to send it to the secretariat, would go to the planning, would go to finance. Hence, we have decided to cut all those procedures, and we have decided that we will give a direct fund to the district level at DRDA. And the DRDA will again work closely with the SPs and the battalions to take up the smaller renovation works that are there at the battalion as well as the district level. At the same time, we have also decided that the larger SP offices and the different infrastructures that are required in different districts at a larger scale, those also will be done, but that process will follow the normal process of it going through the department and through planning, and the normal procedure is done, because as you're aware, a large number of the offices, districts don't have SP offices also, especially the newer ones. So we will be creating and sanctioning offices for SPs in the districts which don't have them. We have also decided that there are 76 police stations, and a large number of them don't have vehicles, or the vehicles are in very bad condition. We have decided to give brand new vehicles to all the 76 police stations, because these are the first point of contact for the public, and the police not only do their duty as police officers from law and order point of view, but they are also involved in a large additional activities in emergency situations, sometimes even in health situations. They are there to serve the people. So we feel that better infrastructure and logistical support at the police station level is required, and hence we'll be giving a brand new vehicle to all the police stations, along with also computer and complete IT setup, because a large number of police stations do not have these setups, and obviously these are basic requirements to ensure that they're able to do their work properly. Also, on a selected basis, we have decided that cranes and ambulances will be given to the high traffic zone districts and accident prone districts to enable them to serve the people better. So cranes, in order to, obviously, a large number of them, almost 70% plus, do not have proper accommodation and they have to stay in rented places. Hence, we have also started the process where on a case-to-case basis and a phase-wise manner, we will be taking up certain housing projects for the district level at constables, SI, DSP. All of them require large housing complexes. So therefore, this issue has been taken up and we will definitely be moving forward on it. Another important step that we have decided on today is that we strongly feel that the police force has been contributing immensely to the state and its people, and we strongly feel that we need to recognize them as we have been doing for many other sectors, like we have done for entrepreneurs, we do for musicians, we are doing for our different artisans. So we strongly, and sports persons, so we felt that there needs to be also this similar appreciation being shown to the police force, and hence I have decided that we will be coming out with the CM's award, the Police Medal Award, and the second will be the CM's Disaster Response Medal. So these two medals and awards are going to be given to the respected police personnel who will be selected, and we will start this from this year itself. And we strongly feel that these kind of recognitions are important to boost the morale of our police force. The system, as the court has clearly said, that the departments can and the government can now go ahead with the recruitment and appointments following the roster system. So what the situation is that in every department, the system is at a different level, and hence there cannot be a one simple yardstick or a solution or a reply to each one. So every department that has completed the roster, they're going ahead with the recruitment. Larger departments which require a bit more inputs, because from 1972 till now, so a lot of document has to be looked into. So the departments which are slightly larger and taking more time to get the background and the details are taking a bit more time to finalize the recruitment. But I want to make it very clear to the people and to the press and everybody that there is now no issue of the recruitment process. There's no issue of going ahead with the appointments. The only condition that has been put in is that you have to ensure that your roster is in place. So some departments have done it and they're going ahead. Some departments, because of the fact that they're very, very big and they've got hundreds and thousands of people, and the records in some cases are being very difficult to find because it's like from 1972, 3, 4, 5. So all those aspects have to be looked into, and let me assure everybody that as soon as we're doing efforts to ensure that all departments put the roster system at the earliest so that everything is back to normal. There is no restriction to it, but obviously wherever the requirement is there, that has to be examined in a proper manner. We have to see the actual need for it, and obviously based on the requirements, the need, the condition that is there, definitely the government is very open to opening up if it improves and is required and improves the overall law conditions. So we are open to this examination for that. But whatever we have right now, a large number of them, we need to first of all focus on improving the existing ones. So wherever there are 76, we need to ensure that the infrastructure, the logistics, the kind of all the facilities they have should be at that level. And then of course expansion is required, and we will examine those also. So both aspects are important, improving the current ones and examining if there need to be new ones. But we do that time and every now and then. And very recently also we have done an exercise on that, based on which certain outposts were decided. So as per need basis we keep this. It was of course discussed a long time back, and we had discussed this matter at that point in time. But there are, of course, a lot of financial implications of that which we have to study. So the discussion is still on, and we haven't taken a final decision on that yet.
Can you tell us on the...
It's not like that. There is a mandate for it, and time to time we're supposed to meet. And yes, there's been some delay because of, as I said, last 2 years we have faced COVID, and our entire machinery and our attention was focused on health issues. So we were not able to meet as regularly as was prescribed. But yes, now things are slowly normalizing. Like we are having this SP conference and DC conference, which we had conceptualized that we would have it every 6 months in 2018 onwards, but we couldn't do it that time. So similarly, other programs and meetings also were affected. But yes, as per the mandate, we will definitely be following the mandate. I made it very clear. There were 4 or 5 issues which I mentioned very specifically in terms of the different funds for renovation, for the vehicles, for the infrastructure, logistics, and the SP offices wherever they are not there right now. But in terms of the housing, this was brought to our notice today while we were sitting, and that's a good outcome of this entire conference. So obviously we have not gone into details, but the point is that since we have almost 70% plus deficiency, so therefore obviously the financial impact will be large, and that's why I mentioned in my briefing that we will be taking it up in a phase-wise manner. And when I say that, it implies that it will depend on the financial situation. But we do realize that these are important and they must be addressed. Also decided that keeping in mind that out of the 4 lakh plus vehicles that Meghalaya has, 50% of them are in East Khasi Hills. And about 70 to 80% out of these 2 lakh plus vehicles are in Shillong. So therefore there is a huge traffic congestion and issues out here. So for that, we have also decided that 60 motorcycles for the overall monitoring and movement out here in order to control the traffic. The police will be given 60 additional motorcycles to be able to do all these kind of monitoring work in terms of the traffic congestion that we have. There is no scale to say that how much percentage or what we have done. It's a continuous process. So modernization takes place in different aspects, whether it's the weapons, whether it's the cyber and ops, and even the overall infrastructure that we have. So all of these are a continuous process, and we had discussed all those details, but those are more confidential details regarding different weapons and everything. I think it would not be appropriate for me to share. But of course, wherever it's required, wherever the need is there, which have been brought to my notice and to the government's notice by the RDG, we have assured them that we will take the necessary steps in those directions also. The entire issue of law and order was discussed, and therefore different aspects of any kind of situations that are there in every district have been discussed, and in most of the districts, I should say in almost in all the districts, the law and order situation is more or less peaceful, and there are no specific incidents or activities on the ground that have been reported. Other details, as I said, I would not be able to give much, but I can tell you that much at least. As a whole, not just in traffic, but also in the overall recruitment process. And yes, there are some vacancies, and the police has urged that they should be filled up. We are in the process, and we will ensure that we move forward with that. And obviously that includes traffic also. That we have received the reports, and obviously we are examining. It's a very, very lengthy report, like all the other reports also. So at the appropriate time we will be informed about the outcome of the. We are apprised that a large number of the districts and the police forces do not have sufficient accommodation.